Hey, what's up everybody? David here with Just High Level, and today's video we're going to be going over how to automate contracts. So automating contracts in the sense that if you have a sales team, if you have a salesperson, if you yourself are making a sale and you want to have a contract, upload a customer's information, have it automatically sent to them already filled out. So think you're sitting down with a customer and it's time to close the deal. All you do is fill out a form, hit submit. It gets emailed to the customer, and then all they have is a button that hits sign now. It opens up the contract, they sign it, deal done. So we're going to show you how to automate that process. But first, there's a couple of prerequisites that we're going to have to go over first. First one, obviously, we need to have a contract already made up. I have a video on how to actually build a contract from scratch. You can do a PDF and insert tabs since the new update has come across, so you can actually put in spots to be filled out. However, you cannot automate those. So if you want to do the automation part of this, you still need to build your contract from scratch with the Go High Level contract builder. So that's the first one. If you need help building one, I have a video. I'll link it here or over here, somewhere on this screen. I'll have a link to that video if you need some help building it. We go through step by step all the fields and everything. It is a long, tedious video, but it'll help you out to get you started on there. Second one, we're going to have to build an email template for the email to be automated to get sent out. And we'll briefly go over that in this video. The third thing that we're going to need is an actual form that you'll fill out to fill out your contract. So this is going to be where you're sitting down with a customer. It's like, all right, just need some information. You enter in name, date, address, pretty much whatever field you need, pretty much whatever field you need filled in. We're going to create a form to do that, to automatically upload into that contract. And once we hit submit on that form, it'll fill out that contract and send the email template that we're going to make over to the customer. And we'll take a look at what the customer sees on their side and what goes on during that process. So let's get into it. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is we are going to build a form to attach to the contract. Since this is not a form building video, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this, and I'll also note that there's a lot of custom fields that we're going to add in here, so you'll see it in the video, and custom fields are easy enough to add in. But if you need help adding in custom fields, I might have a future video on it, but there are videos out there to show you how to add custom fields. I've added all mine to kind of contact information. But once this form is filled out, we're actually going to attach it to a funnel and then attach that funnel to a domain. That way, when we're sitting down with a customer and we want to send them a contract, we go to whatever your funnel's domain is, and then we just fill it out right then and there. And then once we submit it, it'll fill out the contract and send it to the customer automatically, and we don't have to do anything from there. From there, they just have to open up their email and click sign now. So next part is we'll go into building a funnel. And also forgot to add in a rep into here, and that is fairly important. And we'll go over that once we get to the automation part. All right, and to build the funnel, we're going to go into funnels, create a new funnel. Again, this is not a funnel building video. This is just kind of showing you the steps that it takes to get this automation going. So we'll create the step for it, and we're just going to call it contract. But once we actually build it out, we're going to just drop the form into it. So it's going to be super basic. It doesn't need to be pretty, since in all likelihood, we'll be the only ones, or you or your salespeople will be the only ones filling it out. And excuse me, I added in the rep afterwards, so it has been updated. But this is just kind of what it looks like to go ahead and put that funnel together with the form inside of it, and it is ready to go. You can see the domain URL right there, and we're going to go ahead and copy that and take a look at it in a little bit. So next thing that we're going to do is actually set up the automation. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to build out that automation, and we're going to start with a trigger link, and we're going to have it be triggered when our form is submitted. So that contract form submitted, and that'll cause it to automatically update that contract. So we'll add the customer into a pipeline. We'll assume that the contract has been won since they are about to sign it. And then we're going to assign it to whoever the salesperson is. In this case, it's going to be me. We'll have it assign it to me. And that'll make sure that I'm the one that has to sign it on the contract end. Now, the bad thing about contracts is if you want to have any number of salespeople, each one's going to have their own contract because you can only assign one user per contract. And it's a little annoying because each one requires its own build out. All right, next we're going to build out the email that is going to get sent out to the customer. So it's kind of already pre-built in here, but this is where we can use some custom values. So we can enter in the first name of the customer, and then the button just has to be attached to the URL of the document. So when you go into custom values, you can go to where it is on the screen right there, proposals, and then it's the document URL that you want to go to. And we do that for both of them. So once it is actually signed, they get a copy of it. And this is the one that is click to sign, and you can change what that button says. But that is what we're going for these emails. So these are super basic. And then going into the actual contract, now we have to assign those emails to be sent out for the contract. So usually it's set to default. For this one, we're going to set it to the the signing, and then the other one is going to be set to the signed. And we'll save that and get ready for our next part. All right, now that we have that email set up, we're going to go in here and fill out the form. So I'm going to create a shortened version of myself and use my second email address to go ahead and fill this out. So after I hit submit on this, it'll send it to the email address that I have listed up there. None of this is actual real information. As you can see, the phone number is 8675309. And if you don't have that jingle stuck in your head right now, go listen to it. But anyways, everything in here is a space on the actual document. So these are all the spaces that require the document to be filled on. So that is what's happening here. So it requires that we have a projected start date and a projected finish date. So we have that as an add in there. Again, this is meant to be for when you're sitting down with a customer ready to close and you're just filling out this information for them. When it gets sent over, make sure you check your spam folder. Make sure you let your client know to check their spam folder because this one went to my spam folder. Oddly enough, it says, "Hi Dave." I put DAV as the name. I don't know if it updated it automatically, but this is what the email looks like. So all they're going to have to do is click to sign. So there's also another link there if the button is not working. And when we go ahead and click on the button, it will bring us into the actual contract. So as you can see, all the spaces have been filled out that we entered in. We have the energy saver plan selected, all the financial informations, we have our no notes to add, and then there is a signature box. So note that it can only be signed by Dave Mack, and then the other one will be signed by who the contract was assigned to. So this one was assigned to Mr. Dwayne on there. So he is the only one that can sign it. So this is a major limitation when it comes to this. If you have multiple salespeople or multiple people that are going to be sitting in front of clients, you have to build out multiple contracts. And currently, there is no clone button for a contract. So every single one of them, you have to start from scratch, which is fairly annoying. But this is how we automate those contracts. Alrighty, that is an overview of how to automate the contracts inside of Go High Level. So some major
limitations, we'll call them, is like I was saying at the end of that last part. And sorry for the inception here. I started recording this at one spot and then went to another spot. So here we are. But one of the major limitations is that each contract that you build out within Go High Level can only be assigned to one person, meaning the person in this aspect of it, the salesperson. So when you put in the spot for the signature of the salesperson, it can only be assigned to one person. And then the client can be updated automatically, but you cannot switch out the salespeople for it. So as I was saying, you have to build out a contract for each individual person that is going to be having customers sign or sending out documents for customers to sign. So a little bit of annoying there. It becomes tedious if you have a bigger sales team, because each contract, like I said, you can only automate it when you build it within Go High Level. When you try to do that with the PDF version, where you can now sticky a box on there, it's not necessarily automated. You can require that field to be filled out by the person that's signing it, but it's not going to have it pre-filled. So it's a little bit of give and take when it comes to that. I assume Go High Level will have a clone function like they do in most of the other things within Go High Level for a template in the contracts. And the other major limitation, there was one more, is the signing box tends to move around. So my assumption is that when you preview a contract, it compresses everything. So your signature box is here, and then it compresses everything. So your signature box stays down here, but all your text is up here. So in order to mitigate that, you have to, if your signature box is here, you have to actually put the box somewhere up here. And it's a little bit of trial and error to get that. I've reached out to Go High Level. I assume they are aware of the problem, and I imagine that will be fixed eventually. But for now, you just got to play around with it to keep it within the lines. But thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like the video. If you have questions, comment on it. And I would love if you could subscribe to this channel. As always, have a great day.